Hello YouTube, Dragonheart the Prince of Wales, and welcome to my channel. And this is going to be a special vlog video basically. I'm quite tired, as you can probably tell by the slurriness of my voice, but oh well, let's go ahead with it. So I'm making this video because I went to Cardiff a few days ago with Panda Princess and my good friend Lord Rexasaur. You should check his channel out, he's not too bad. Anyway, enough of the stupid jokes. We went to Cardiff and he took me to the WARHAMMER store they have in Cardiff. Now I've gone past this store many times when I've gone shopping with Panda Princess, and one day me and Panda Princess stood outside the WARHAMMER store. We were too scared to go in because, you know, it's Warhammer and it's nerds, and I'm a nerd, but I'm more of a casual nerd, if you know what I mean. I'm not hyper. I don't do the whole Trekkie thing, if you catch my drift. So I was quite scared to go in, and we didn't go in. But when I went to Cardiff with Lord Rexasaur and Panda Princess a few days ago, he said he'd take us in and show us around and show us the ropes, essentially. So we obliged. We went in with him, and yeah, lots of nerds. But it was an enjoyable experience. It was how can I put it? It was like seeing through someone else's eyes. It was seeing into somebody else's world, if you will. We went in there and straight away we went to our comfort zone and went straight to the Middle Earth section because, like, we don't know anything else, just go to Middle Earth. So me and Panda Princess went to the other side of the store, in Cardiff, in the Warhammer store, and we saw some figures. And by the way, the prices, bloody hell, I won't be collecting whole armies, put it that way. We saw some of the Middle Earth stuff, the Hobbit stuff, by Games Workshop. Really cool. The painting is amazing, to be fair. And then Rexasaur sort of went through some of the Warhammer stuff, because obviously Warhammer's coming out and I'm a noob. I don't know much about Warhammer. I know the very basic stuff, and I mean very, very basic. And he went through like the vampire counts. He went through some of the other units that they had. He went through like the zombie dragon. He showed me some of the different, I think, is it von Karstein or Karsten? I'm still learning. Bear with me, guys, I'm still learning. But he went through the different units and factions and characters and legendary lords, and he went through a few things. Then the guy from the shop came over, very enthusiastic guy, bit of a nerd, but I liked him. He was cool, and he was talking mainly to Rex. I just sort of nodded because I don't talk Trek, if you know what I mean. So I just talk Pokemon and Dragon Tongue sometimes, but I digress. He was talking to Rex, and they were really enthusiastic, and they were getting involved, and I could see how much, through this experience in the store, I could see how much Warhammer meant to the store owner and to Rexasaur, or the store owner or the store assistant, whatever he was. You know, he obviously loves his job. He loves the Warhammer franchise. He knew so much about the different units and figures and the different releases and all sorts, and Rexasaur the same, and they were able to have this conversation, and you could see the smile on their faces, how enthusiastic they both were, and how much it meant to them, this franchise. And the thing is, this has opened my eyes to Total War Warhammer a little bit more, because I watched I can't get my words out properly. I'm slurring. I'm still slurring. I've had too much gin today. It's just, oh my. Anyway, I digress. I watched one of Lord Rexasaur's videos recently, and he mentioned about how much Warhammer means to him, and lots of people don't understand that in the Total War community. A lot of the Total War YouTubers have just jumped on the, well, I'm saying this, not him. They've jumped on the bandwagon, if I'm being honest. It's like, yeah, Warhammer, woo, we want this. And it's like, yeah, you don't know fuck all about it. Like me, I don't know fuck all about Warhammer, but I openly admit that. Yeah, I'm quite controversial sometimes. Anyway, they've jumped on the bandwagon sort of thing, and Rex like, yeah, but they don't understand it from my point of view. I don't understand how much it means to the Warhammer fan base. And that's the thing, there's two different fan bases with this game. There's the Total War fan base, and there's the Warhammer fan base. By the way, if you can hear some noises in the background, there's some sheep outside. Nothing, I'm Welsh, nothing sexual going on, shall we say. It's just that there's a farm behind my house, literally behind my house, and sometimes you can hear cows and sheep, and I can hear them, so it's possible you can too, but if not, then whew. Anyway, so I could see how much it meant to him, and there's two fan bases: Total War, Warhammer, Total War. I'm on the Total War fan base side of things, although I'm not really I'm not really a major Total War fan. There's other games I enjoy, and Total War isn't my life. Yes, it's a large part of my channel, but it's not my life. But Warhammer is something that I'm getting into now. I'm learning about some of the lords. Rexasor's going to go through 1 or 2 videos with me, hopefully in the near future. I can ask him some questions. Give me like a beginner's guide, a beginner's tutorial, if you will, of the franchise. And the stuff that we went through in the store was really interesting. It really showed me. It'd be the same if, for example, Creative Assembly like next year announced that they've been in discussions with George R.R. Martin, and they have the license for Game of Thrones or the license for A Song of Ice and Fire, and they were going to include all the different factions like the Freys and the Lannisters and the Tullys and Dawn and the Martells. And you see what I mean? I'm just spitting off all these different factions. The Greyjoys, you know, House Harlow from the Iron Isles, you know. You have your pirates in the Narrow Seas, you know, in the Summer Isles, and you know, see what I mean? I'm just spouting stuff off the top of my head, and I can do that because I'm a massive Song of Ice and Fire / Game of Thrones fan. I read the books every time I go to Cardiff, and Rexasor can back me up on this because, well, maybe not recently, if I didn't buy anything, but the time before that, I bought Game of Thrones mugs. I've been collecting the Game of Thrones merchandise, so I have the Lannister mug, I have the Greyjoy mug, I have 2 Targaryen mugs, I recently bought the Tully mug, I gotta buy a Stark mug, got a Greyjoy mug, which you've probably seen in some of my videos sometimes. I've been collecting the t-shirts, you know, I got to get Stannis, I've got the standard Baratheon one, but I gotta get a Stannis one with a flaming heart, House of Rollo, what am I with? The Red God. I have to get Frey and I got a Tully t-shirt actually. I lie, I have a Tully t-shirt. I'm getting tongue-tied, awful. Need more gin, waiter, more gin please. Fucking hell, you're gonna think I'm an alcoholic now. I've been collecting loads of Game of Thrones stuff. That's the point I'm trying to make. T-shirts I've been collecting, the mugs I've been collecting. I will eventually move on to some of the figures, the pop figures, the vinyl figures look fantastic. I'm gonna have a whole desk full of them if I have my own way. They'll be up on my shelf. I'll be taking photos of them for you guys and put them on Twitter because I'm a nerd when it comes to Game of Thrones. I love it. Just like Lord Rexasor and thousands of people out there love Warhammer. And I feel like, especially with some of the Total War YouTubers, this is where it gets a bit controversial, I feel like they've shit on them a little bit when it comes to Total War Warhammer, because when it was announced, everyone was like, I was like, yay, this looks cool. Where's Medieval 3, you lousy cunts? Busker wanted Medieval 3, but I don't think like that now. That's just the immature side of me on its initial release, or not release, initial announcement. But with Total War Warhammer and certain people within the community, whether it's the comment section or whether it's other YouTubers, they were shitting on the whole, how can I put it? The faction starting positions. They were shitting on the Chaos DLC. Yeah, you know what? I kind of understand where you're coming from with this DLC thing. But let's get real. It's Creative Assembly. It's Total War. This will be the 4th game in a row that they've had early pre-order DLC. You know, Shogun 2 had, if I'm not mistaken, the Hattori. Rome 2 had the Greek States Culture Pack. Attila had the Viking Forefathers Culture Pack. So it's been going on for 5 years. Get a grip. You know what I mean? I mean, this has been going on for a while. It's nothing new. So, okay, the timing was terrible with the Chaos DLC. They should have probably done it like, I don't know, 2 months before release. If they'd said in the middle of February, end of February, yeah, we're going to have a pre-order bonus of this, then I think people would have been a lot happy about it. But the fact they announced it like 6 months before release, it's like, holy shit, you dumb fucks. I understand all that. Don't, you know, I'm not going to rehash all this kind of thing because I uploaded videos on it in the past. I went over it in the podcast with Rex Stiffs. You know, it's not a, I'm not going to go into that unless you want me to, but I'm not going to in this video. But it's like they, you know, it'd be the same if like they announced Game of Thrones Total War or Westeros Total War. I know it was a mod, but the mod is shit. Okay, I tried it and it's shit. It'd be if they announced the Game of Thrones and then they started not including, or they started saying, right, the Targaryens are one of the big factions, but because they don't appear at the start of the novels, it's just Daenerys, and she's basically a prize bride for Khal Drogo. That You know, they're not going to be a playable faction at the start, and then people will be outraged, you know, but I would understand that, because I understand the lore and I understand game development a little bit more than some people give me credit for, probably. And I would totally see the point, you know, if they announced Targaryens as a DLC. And I'm using this kind of logic now towards Warhammer, because obviously I would consider myself a fanboy. Some people would consider me a fanboy of Game of Thrones, of Song of Ice and Fire. Understandably so. I wouldn't disagree with that at all. The same way that people would probably say the same about Rexor and other people that are fans of Warhammer. They're fanboys. They're going to defend it to the hilt. Because if you love something, you defend it to the hilt. It's what you do. You know? I know a little bit about love as well, you mad bastards. You know, it's like, okay, I'll give you another example, just because I feel like I need to. I'm a massive football fan. I've been supporting Liverpool Football Club for as long as I can remember, most of my life. My dad's a Liverpool fan all of his life as well. And they've been playing shit this season. They were playing shit last season. We didn't even get in the top 4. We haven't been playing good football for probably since Luis Suarez and Raheem Sterling were at the club. We had a good season where we nearly won the league. But apart from that one season, we haven't been playing well on a consistent basis, probably since 2008, 2009. Year after year, it's been the same thing. But I support the club through thick and thin. I love the club. My father loves the club, you know. And it's what happens in this kind of scenario. If you love something, you defend it. People criticised The Witcher 3 last year. I'll say last year because we're only just into this year. People criticised The Witcher 3 because they called it the glitcher, because it had lots of glitches. It crashed on release. It crashed on me on release day a couple of times. That's why I didn't do a series on it afterwards, because I could not record it like it was. I had to wait for a little bit of patching, a little bit of love. But I love that game. I've fallen in love with the lore of the Witcher series. I've bought some of the books that I'm reading at a very slow pace, but I've even bought myself the book that tells you the whole lore and the backstory of the Witcher and the different empires and the Emperor and the different creatures that are in the world, and it's this sort of thing. You know, like, I defend The Witcher 3 to most people, and I'd say that it's Game of the Year last year. I've gone on record on this channel and said that was my favourite game in 2015. There'll be people that slate me. There'll be people out there, and there are reviewers that I've seen that have slated The Witcher 3, saying it's not as good as people make out. Combat is repetitive. All you got to do is keep rolling and slashing. There's no skill to it. The voice acting could be better. It's glitching. Graphically, you need like a NASA PC to play it and stuff like that. I don't give a shit. I love the game. I've played the game. The story's fantastic. The soundtrack's fantastic. The voice acting's good in my opinion. All of it's good. The combat's challenging because, especially on higher difficulties, because you really need to research your enemy. You need to discover what their weaknesses are. You need to put the oil on the sword to make sure you've got the right kind of effect against them and stuff like that. Little things like that. But I love The Witcher 3, and you know, if you love something, then you're going to defend it. And going back to the original point of the video, we've gone slightly off topic, although I feel like I've more or less got my point across now. Warhammer. Is it going to be a good game? I hope it is. I really do hope it is. I'm looking forward, the next few months I'm looking forward to learning more about the Warhammer lore. I'm going to watch more of Rex's old videos. I've watched quite a few of them already. Hoping to do some videos with him in the near future to do with Warhammer. I'm going to do some research online. That sheep is going off again. I'm going to thank you for that, sheep. I'm going to do some research online about the factions, about the world. I'm not going to go into it in great detail, but enough that I can navigate my way around this world and know where certain regions are. Know where the Empire is, know where the Dwarven lands are, know where the Skaven dwell, know where the Lizardmen come in, that sort of thing. Know where Chaos, I think Chaos in the north, if I'm not mistaken. I do know some things, okay? And get invested in this world. Think of it like this. Think of it the first time, because most people, I imagine, you've all seen Lord of the Rings by now. If not, then I recommend you go and watch it right now, because you're missing out on a damn good film series, rather, trilogy. Remember the first time you watched Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship, Two Towers, Return of the King. Remember the first time you watched all of them and that feeling you got? Well, seeing sort of Lord Rexasor's reaction and how involved and invested he was in that Warhammer store is the sort of feeling I got, and other people, probably you as well, got when you first saw Lord of the Rings for the first time. And you were like, oh my god, best film ever. You know, it's that much enthusiasm. Pardon me. I hope that it'll be a good game. I hope it'll have a good release. I can't wait to play it. I think it's going to be fantastic. I really hope that it's going to be good. I hope. And if it is, it's going to be a masterpiece. And it's going to be... It could be up there with The Witcher 3 as a game of the year for 2016. Could be being the keyword. Fingers crossed. Anyway, I'm going to end this video now because I've been talking for nearly 17 minutes and I can't be arsed to talk anymore. I feel like I got my point across. My opinion has shifted slightly and I'm hoping we will have a grand old game to play come the end of April. I've been Dragonheart, the Prince of Wales. Thank you for watching. Until next time, goodbye.